Mustang, the top has been like, when I try to put it up, it just takes forever. And after looking around online, I'm pretty convinced that the pump or motor in the back is low on fluid. That's going to be actually the same fluid that you use for transmission and power steering on a Mustang GT. This is a 2003, so I'm sure 99 to 04 is all the same. I did kind of get a head start on this because I wasn't planning on filming it, but I'll just show you. All I really did was remove the bottom of the rear seat. So here's what that looks like. So I saw that some of the older generation was a little bit different for these clips, but it's basically just these kind of rods that have a little catch right there. It's pretty similar to some of the newer like headrests when you see, you know, when you remove those and you have to push that little thing in. So it's the exact same, and what it does is they just slide in. There's one right here in the middle of the seat, and then just one right over there also in the middle. And all you have to do, I was able to do it with my finger, but if you had a tool you could get in here and press on that clear tab right there to release it. For me, what worked the best is just to kind of gently push down on the seat while you push that little release in there, and then you can just kind of gently lift it up on each side. So that worked pretty well. And now the next thing I need to do is, there are some bolts right there. What you need to loosen are these nuts here, and they are 11/16, but mine were actually just hand tightened for the most part, so probably gonna do that when I put them on again. And then I'll show you here, after that came out, all I had to do was kind of just gently kind of lift up along the back seat here, and then just popped out these two tabs out of these grooves, and then the seat lifted up. So there's the pump right there. So there's a little rubber grommet type thing that plugs the hole where the fluid goes. So with these clips, if you push on this right here, it undoes the whole entire clip from the unit, and then that looks like that's going to give us just enough room there to get this out. And I know you have to be careful with it. Okay, so I went ahead and put a little towel down here, move those electrical harnesses out of the way, and let's see. Geez, they could have just given you a little bit more room with that. Okay, so apparently Dexron 3 was just the original fluid that was around back when the car was manufactured. This is the newest recommendation transmission fluid, and so I am going to use that to refill this. Now I do want to show you a couple of things. So you can kind of see just a little bit of a hue here of kind of an oily substance, so I wonder if this is the kind of thing that happens where this fluid slowly leaks out. But when I got that rubber plug out, here's what it looks like, and I was just able to kind of squeeze it and go back and forth and stuff, and it finally came out. So I could look down in that hole, and when I got it out there was fluid running out, and I was like, shoot, then that might mean that it's all full and everything. So then I would have other problems. But after looking a little more, I did end up holding that plug in there and then running the top to the up position, and I imagine it wasn't holding pressure because that plug wasn't in there, and This must be some kind of two-chambered system where the fluid moves from side to side depending on which direction you're going, and I imagine going up is on this side here, and so once I did that, this fluid level dropped down tremendously. So now I think I can fill up some of that. So here's my transmission fluid, and I just got one of these little syringes here from a kid's ibuprofen attached to a little tube that I use for bleeding brakes, and so we're gonna try to fill this thing up here. Alright guys, so hard to see in there, but it's running out pretty consistently now. When I shoot that in there, looks a little more full, so we're gonna put that plug back in and try it out and hope for the best. As far as getting the plug back in there, I kind of held with my right thumb. I held it in. It's a little tight in here because of this bracket, so just got to kind of watch out for that. So I just held my thumb on there and then used in my right hand screwdriver to just gently press on the top and then kind of just keep feeding it in there. I think you just want to be a little bit careful doing that so you don't rip that rubber grommet thing. So I did go ahead and kind of went back and forth with the motor, the switch a little bit, up and down, and each time the fluid level would drop a little, so I would just keep doing that, and then probably about 4 or 5 times I did that, and overall it probably took about 4 to 6 ounces, somewhere in there. The syringe I was using only does about 2 milliliters at a time, so if you have a bigger one or a turkey baster or something, definitely speed things up a little bit. But eventually that started running out of the hole pretty consistently, and so I felt like it was probably time to just put the plug back in now. I did see some fluid and stuff back in here, and so I don't know, it's definitely the older fluid, not the new stuff. It wasn't nice red color like the stuff I just put in, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but I'm just gonna kind of leave this rag in here for better or worse, just to absorb anything. I mean, I think the worst that would happen is it would leak into the trunk or down here into this area, so I suppose it could be worse, but for now we're just going to do that, and then I'm going to use this opportunity to vacuum up down here, so we'll take care of that and then I'll be back with you. Okay, we're all cleaned up. We're going back in with the seat. Get the seat belts kind of moved to the side and make sure those are both in. So the seat belt has to be on the outside of that. Okay, then we're going to lift up the seat, pop in the tabs a little bit there. Okay, so to get those back on, you kind of want to push back on these seat belt guides, and then you can lift it up, lift the seat up enough, then push it backwards, and then you just kind of have to work the seat back down while you're pushing on this to get it out of the way. And then just do that on both sides and it'll slide in. Now we're just going to put back on our 11/16 bolts. Alright, and like I said, with those bolts, they weren't tightened very much, so I just kind of gently did with my socket wrench, but also hopefully yours is the same way. But on the black piece here that's attached to the seat, you could see where that nut was screwed up, was tightened down before. So when I put it on, it was kind of sagging a little bit, so I just held the seat up while I tightened that down a little bit so that it would stay kind of where it was. It seems like it might give you some trouble when you went to snap in your back seat if it was down too low. Okay, so now we're going in with the back seat, and I think the most important thing with this one is just to make sure that the seat belts are coming back up through the seat properly. Just these hooks back here, those are just for your child safety latch system, so nothing hooks into those. As far as the seat goes, it literally is just these two front pins that go in here. Okay, I think my battery's probably a little low from having the key turned while I was testing that for a while, so let's give it a shot. Okay, I hit this. Alright, so not totally great, but definitely better than it was before. And it's making a lot less noise, so I think that's a good sign. So hopefully we're in good shape. Hope this video helped. Please do give me a subscribe. I need subscribers big time. Otherwise, share, follow, comment if you have questions as always, and thanks a lot for watching.